After a spectacular performance against Genk in the Champions League, all eyes have now turned to Erling Haaland. With 17 goals already this season, is the Norwegian wonderkid the next biggest star in football? The 19-year-old agreed a deal to join RB Salzburg from Molde in August of 2018, but as the Norwegian season was still in progress, he joined the squad in January 2019. Their sporting director described Haaland as a tough and fast striker with an incredible scoring instinct. So let's look into his statistics from Molde and his career at Salzburg so far. In the season that Salzburg signed him, he had scored 12 and assisted 4 times in 26 games for Molde. This was actually the season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still the manager at the club too. After his move in January, he didn't actually feature in the first team much for Salzburg. He scored his first goal in May, but it's the start of this season where things have really kicked on for him. In all competitions so far, 9 games played, he scored 17 goals and assisted 5. Not only that, but 4 hat-tricks this season. To break it down, that's 2 in the league, 1 in the cup, and 1 on his Champions League debut. But he doesn't just score a ridiculous amount of goals at club level, he does this for his national team too. In the Under-20s World Cup in the summer of this year, Haaland scored 9 in 1 game. This was in Norway's game against Honduras, which eventually ended in a 12-0 victory. So with the statistics set in place, let's look into Erling's style and highlights. He's a player that has a very strong and bulky build. Combine this with his height of 6'4", it makes for an incredible presence when he's up against opposition defenders. The surprising thing with Haaland is that even with the large build that he possesses, he's still got great pace, and this is shown with some of his goals both at Molde and Salzburg. What Haaland is able to do is hold back on running into space until a player around him gets into a good position to pass. This way, when the pass is played into him, the defenders are left behind when Haaland starts to accelerate forward onto the ball. And this acceleration he has is something I can only describe as a powerful pace. He'll burst onto the ball using the wide stretch of his legs to get onto the ball before any defender has the chance to catch up. This way, Haaland has got time to compose himself and be able to finish off the chance and score as he seems to do so often. One of his goals against Wolfsberger AC, a game in which he scored one of his hat-tricks, saw him set up the chance for his own goal. As the ball was won back by a teammate inside of their own half, it was then played for Haaland, who was able to stride the ball forward with power and play a clean pass through for their number 9. From there, Haaland used that powerful pace I talked about to quickly run up the pitch while the chance was still alive and overlap onto the left of the ball carrier. This was where the ball was played back to Haaland to put the ball in the back of the net. The reason I highlight this goal in particular is because of his ability to see the pass that quickly in the first place. He was able to stretch the game, leaving the opposition defenders on the right side of the pitch, which he then saw as an opportunity to run into the empty space on the left and make the chance that he created a goal for himself. The other one to touch on was his first goal of the night against Genk. This firstly came from a long pass into Romalo. He took a neat touch, meaning that he could do a quick turn and pass the ball first time into Haaland. With how quick this chance came about, it meant that the defenders were caught off guard. What we can say about Haaland in this highlight is how fast he was able to get himself into a position to finish off this chance. Even though the defenders were caught off guard, they were still going to be onto him fairly soon. So it's impressive from Erling's part that he was able to bury this chance so quickly. With his strong build, proven finishing capabilities and power, this is what has made him score as many as he has. When Solskjaer was at Molde and still managing him, he said that he has the hunger, the ability and the attitude to go all the way in football. At only 19 years of age, the fantastic start to the season he's had in the league and now the Champions League too, there's no doubt that this is going to make the big teams around the world prioritise him further up their transfer lists. So with that being said, get involved below and tell me if you think Erling Haaland can keep this goal scoring form going throughout the season. And if so, where do you think he'll end up in the summer of 2020? I recommend that you don't miss out on future videos. Subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.